What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. So today I have this Mercedes GLC 43 that was just dropped off. I believe it's a 2025, and this is here for a full cosmetic paint protection film using Vvivid Colorfusion Stealth Cosmic Blue. I have not seen this color on a full car yet. I've had it for my own car, my minivan. I was going to wrap it because why not protect the paint? It actually has a PPF on it already, clear. But why not protect the paint further and then also give it a cool new vibe and a whole new look that no other minivan has. This is the highest gloss, most color shifting film that I have seen so far on the market or has ever entered my shop. And I've been dying to see this on a full car. So I've had my roll sitting over there staring at me forever now, probably almost a year, but I do have a separate roll for the customer. Can't wait to show you this color. So stay tuned for this series because I'm going to be showing you how to install some of this material, and I'm going to be showing you what it all looks like in the end. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, please do. It always helps. It helps boost the channel up, helps get things out there, and helps create awareness in the wrap industry. My goal is to help customers and those who want to DIY or get into the market, as always. So let's get into what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be doing headlight taillight tint, and that's going to be done in a dark smoke on the back and a light smoke on the front. There is no percentage rating to this. I'm sure you could measure it if you had a lumeter. I think that's what it's called. But just saying, like, I don't know what the percentage is. It's Vvivid's ultimate tint. So for the front and the back, it's super high gloss. It's not PPF, but it's super high gloss. It's going to look really good. So it's going to give the car an entirely new look. On top of that, the customer has this right here. So they've picked this up themselves or ordered it themselves. This is this tempered glass for the display. And this is an interior kit for, it's like a forged, not a forged carbon fiber, it's like a hydro-dip kind of style carbon fiber. I think it's probably a carbon fiber, but I'll show you it while we do the walk around. This is ideal for this display. It's going to be a little bit clearer than this. This does come with the display pieces as well. When I was moving this around, the cap fell off. That's why the tube's not in there properly. But anyways, this is going to help protect the interior. So we have that to do and the full wrap and the headlight taillight tinting. I'm just going to put this down. Now, when it comes to the exterior part of this, there are imperfections already from the factory, from Mercedes, from BMW, from Lamborghini, even from Rolls-Royce, from Ferrari, from everybody, nearly everybody. If you get into like Pagani, Bugatti, maybe some higher end Lamborghinis, they become a lot more perfect because the manufacturer does take the time to ensure that those cars are perfect. But there's always a little bit of texture in the paint, kind of. Actually, I've seen Koenigsegg and the paint's like glass. But there is texture in this paint. So as much texture is in the paint is still what's going to show through the wrap. If you wanted this to look perfect, like near as close to glass as possible, because if I take this film and I put it on glass, it looks very close to glass. If I take it and put it on paint, it doesn't look quite as nice as it does on the glass. So if we were to polish this down and have the clear coat smooth out to be like glass, then yes, the wrap will look tremendously better, or look better just overall. I don't know how much better, but it's going to look better overall for those who are really picky. So you can only get so picky because the card we were dealt already is that there is texture to the clear coat already. So no matter what we put over top of it, whether it's clear PPF, vinyl wrap, or whatever, vinyl wrap, if it doesn't have a PET liner, a plastic liner, it's going to add texture to it. So anything with a paper backing or a release liner is going to add more texture to your wrap, while anything with a PET liner is not really going to add much more texture to the wrap. It's going to add a tiny, tiny bit, but almost nothing that's noticeable. It will look more like the paint this way. So the way you see the finish right now on the gloss, I'll bring the camera in to point out the texture, but is how the wrap is going to show it basically. If you might know this car, the customer actually had the lower rocker panel painted. This car generally comes with black plastic trims on the front, the back, the side, so you can see like there's a piece down here. It's not a very big piece, so they didn't bother with that, but they did want the side to match. Now there is a ton of texture to that. They are leaving some of, so it was a textured piece already. I'm assuming they had to sand it down to paint it. But we're going to be leaving this section here where that body line is black, and then just this upper section here is going to be matched to the wrap of the car. Let's get the camera off the tripod and walk you around this thing. All right, cool. So let's walk around this thing a little bit. As you notice, there are fender flares. This is going to chew up a little bit more material because the fender flares have to be wrapped individually from obviously the bumper and the fender. Same with the back one over here. It's not going to be wrapped with the door and the rear quarter panel. So we're going to have to cut into the roll extra for the 4 pieces. Chrome's being left for now. A customer might change their mind on what they're going to do with it later, but for now it's being left. This lettering is always super annoying. Sometimes it comes off really nicely where I can preserve the 2-sided tape. In this situation, I haven't taken it off yet, so we're going to see. So this is all pre-wrap video here. I haven't done anything other than removed and cleaned the car and removed a couple of trim pieces, but I haven't done anything else yet. As you can see, these pieces here are removed, and I removed the window trims, one piece on the other side. So front bumper, not over the top difficult, but it is interesting, okay? So this is an interesting spiralization piece right here that's all connected. It's gonna be a little tricky. This becomes a very complex and compound area to wrap, especially with the PPF. So I'm gonna have to use an inlay or a seam somewhere. My assumption is that I'm probably gonna have to do a piece on the top here and come around right here around the bottom, and you're never gonna see the line because it's right on the body line. It's got a nice hard edge to it. It's gonna hide it really well. Down here, this piece is entirely separate, which is nice, so that helps a lot. And there's nothing on the upper portion of the bumper to wrap, so it's just this small, skinny piece that kind of connects right through where the plate is, all the way through. So when I take the front bumper off, I'm gonna be removing the black plastic trim piece right there and whatever else I can, and that's gonna make things a lot more accessible. Fender flares, yeah, they're gonna have to come off anyway, so we're gonna take that off and then not wrap them off the vehicle. I'm gonna be wrapping them on the vehicle, okay? So that's a big thing to keep in mind because trying to wrap them off the vehicle can be really difficult to do since they're probably be moving around. I'm gonna remove them so that I can tuck in behind there really nicely between that gap so that you don't see any blue between the fender and the flare. Same thing where it meets the bumper, okay? Like I said, that bottom piece is getting partially wrapped to match. The handles are, no, they're blue on the bottom. It almost looks like it's chrome from my angle, but it's blue on the bottom here. Back section here, it's a tricky spot. This is very common with Mercedes, this area. So again, this is a lot of stretch, and if you cut inaccurately, you're gonna fall short here, so you have to be very careful with that. Overall, the rear bumper is not over the top difficult. There isn't a lot of shape to it. Rear hatch and stuff like that, it's pretty straightforward. It's also almost all pretty much flat. I have not yet discussed the roof with the customer yet, but I'm thinking that we should do like at least that section black because it just looks funny if it's not. It's gonna look way better if it is. But then I'm also wondering if we should do a line, like a seam there, and continue the black through maybe up to just the spoiler. I'm not sure yet, or I don't think it's gonna look funny if the whole piece is done with black because the black's gonna come down the side and it's not gonna match the quarter panel. So I don't think the whole thing should be done in black. It's just a part of it to have the lines run cleanly through. Over here on this side, it's basically the same thing. Oh yeah, I didn't show you the interior. So the interior, there's your displays. And then there's that like carbon fiber look that I was talking about. It's almost like a hydro dip style carbon fiber. It probably is carbon fiber because it looks like you can see the weave in it. But these pieces are getting wrapped. Anything that's high gloss is getting wrapped. So it's just that piece right across here, and then the display over there, and then I believe there's something here. I'll go around the other side and open up the door. I believe there's something on the other side. This is an interesting emblem. I haven't seen this yet. Let's go in here. I think is there a piece on here? Maybe that's part of the kit. I have not yet looked. But this definitely won't be. That small piece will be though. That's about it for the interior pieces. Now, I was gonna show you, yes, the texture in the paint, okay? So when we look at the clarity of the light, or that light right there, you can see this one here. You see it's not really high definition, like it's kind of blurry looking. That blur that you're seeing is the texture, the orange peel that's in the paint, okay? So I can't get rid of that unless this is polished down. If you look at the glass now, you can see that the reflection is much clearer, okay? That's going to show the wrap better if I were to put wrap on a surface like that. So just to keep that in mind, it can only be so good. Guys, that's pretty much it for like the walk around of the vehicle. Again, it's not over the top difficult. There are a lot of pieces to wrap on this thing, so it is going to be a bit time consuming. And I'm going to be doing majority of this as a wet installation because I am doing a gloss cosmetic paint protection film. With the satin or the self finishes, you don't have to do it wet. You can if you want to, but you don't have to because the gloss will show adhesive lines and squeegee lines, while the stealth / satin finishes do not. So the gloss is a bit more picky in that sense, but it comes out looking really, really good when you install it wet. Okay, areas that I'm going to be installing dry, the mirrors, the door handles, that's about it. The sensors, like small pieces, that's about it. Maybe this small piece down here. Oh yeah, and the bumpers you can do dry as well because the adhesive lines don't generally show on these complex or more curved areas. They show a lot more on large flat panels like the hood, like the fender and the doors and the quarter panel and so forth. So avoid doing dry installation when the area is large and flat, but you can do dry installation, and the purpose of doing dry installation, let's say on the bumper, it's going to be much faster and a lot easier. Doing a wet installation on this does take a lot more time when it comes to doing a bumper because the material is just, you gotta wait for all the edges to dry, and there's a lot of edges and stuff around here before you can even roll around. A hood and a door, they're pretty rectangular or square. Same thing with a fender, it's just sort of like an L shape. So, you know, waiting for that material to dry is not that big of a deal. I can move on to other things, while the bumper is just a little more frustrating to do wet in my experience and in my opinion. But hey, each to their own. You can do the bumper wet if you want to. So you have that option with this type of material to be able to install it wet or dry, totally up to you. But again, my suggestion, the large flat areas, do them wet installation. The smaller, more intricate areas, or just way more intricate areas and have more shape to them, you can do those dry installation with the gloss cosmetic PPF. Guys, I look forward to seeing you in the next part of the series, which will be an installation video or two. I look forward to seeing you in the very last one, which will be the full walk around of what this actually looks like and how it all came out. Super stoked about this color, like I said. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions at all. And again, see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Take care.